Hey, this is Elon with Best of 5. We're a weekly FGC talk show, so if we keep popping up on your recommended feed and you want to stay connected to the FGC, click the subscribe button and stick with us while we bring you more FGC news. Let's talk about Street Fighter 6. We have not heard anything from Street Fighter 6, essentially, since the end of the closed beta, right? They've gone to a couple of shows, they've shown the same build that they've been working on, but other than that, they've been very, very quiet. Until this week. Actually, until last week. Sorry, this was a topic for last week. Until last week, where we got to see... Whoops, sorry, I dropped my remote here. There we go. Where we got to see the third of 3. We did not know there were 3. We got the third of 3 controller schemes for the game. So we have Classic, which is your regular 6-button fighting game. We have Modern, which is a 4-button setup, right, with a couple of assists. And now we have this one. Dynamic. So here's what we just saw. And we have a graphic here to show. The dynamic button scheme. So it's sitting alongside the Classic, which is a 6-button, the Modern, which is the newfangled system, Classic, Modern, and Dynamic. And here's what Dynamic looks like. It's battle with AI-assisted attacks. So essentially, you could just press buttons and things happen. So the way Dynamic works, the Dynamic controller scheme works, is by spacing. So if you're at a close range to your opponent, if you start pressing buttons, you're going to do combos. Depending on what kind of combo you do. Whatever combo you do depends on whatever type of situation, right? So it's AI assisted. If you're in the mid-range, you mash it. It's like, so Squidly, from my understanding, it's like an auto combo. But it's like an auto combo that changes depending on the situation in the game. So it is AI assisted. So if you're at close range and you start pressing buttons, whatever situation it is, for example, if it's a whiff punish, you're gonna get a giant combo off of it. If you're in neutral, they're probably gonna try to do a jab combo, etc., etc., etc. In medium range, the AI can choose to do a jump in. Yeah, in medium range, the AI can choose to do a jump in. So you can just press buttons and if it throws, we saw it jumping over a fireball that Ryu threw, and you do a lot of like the mid-range combo stuff that you would usually do. I believe it also dashes forward. I'm not 100% sure on that. I haven't seen the actual full breakdown. Last but not least is the far range. The far range stuff is later, Rag, and I see that. I will press it in just a second. Let me finish this thought. The far range utilizes the zoning, whatever zoning tools the character has, or whatever self buffs the character has. So we saw Jamie drinks on the long range. I'm assuming Ryu either throws fireballs or he does the Denjin charge up. I'm assuming Kimberly throws cans. Jury does the Fujin stocks or whatever. Fujinha stocks, whatever. That's what I'm assuming it is. So I think this is super interesting. Before I get into our next thought, it's button time.
Wow. What do you think about this mirror match, Chris Matrix?
Well, it's not a complete mirror match. I mean, but just Morgan Missile.
Thanks for everything, bro.
I guess whoever says Uncle first.
Whoever says Uncle first?
Yeah.
Whoever says Matei first, right?
Matei. Oh. Say it.
Say it. Say it. Say it. Matei.
That was against What's his name? Which one was that? Kickboxer or Bloodsport?
That was
Which one was that? Bolo or the ponytail? That was Bolo. That was Bolo. Yeah, the big ace. The one I be like the.
He said, you break my record, I break you. Just like I break your friends.
Oh, holy shit. Dude. Okay, context here. Bloodsport is legit like one of my favorite movies. Like top 1 favorite movies. I can recite all 4 lines out of that movie. Dude. Also, they got it wrong. It's not Bolo, it's Tong Po. Yeah, there's literally like 4 lines in that movie. There's you break my record, I break your face like I broke your friend. There's OK USA, you must show me Dimmak. And then he does a Dimmak, and then the big guy comes out. He's like, "And you want to see some Dimmak?" And he like busts up a brick with his forehead, and the dude goes, "That's not Dimmak." And he goes, "Yeah, it is." Bloodsport's my favorite movie ever. Anyway, what was I saying? Right, Street Fighter 6, dynamic control, AI assisted, lots of fun. That's the end of that one. However, that wasn't the only piece of news that we got off of Street Fighter 6. We also got a little bit of a sneak peek into some art that looks like will be featured in some story mode stuff. And this is what that stuff looks like. Here's Kimberly. Neat. Here's Jury getting haunted by Bison, right? This next one is super weird to me. Well, okay, first of all, Luke is weird, but this wasn't the one I was thinking of. Here's Luke doing whatever Luke does. And then there's this one. This one is of Jamie, and it looks like, are Yun and Yang dead? This makes it feel like they're dead, right? They're either dead or they like the Illuminati experimented on them, and now they're like 8 stories tall. So something's going on over here. You can kind of see Yun wearing a cardboard box on his head, maybe. But I don't know. This one just is a little bizarre. It just looks like they're dead, which is super bizarre. So who knows what's going on there? A lot of questions have to be answered. The interesting thing about Luke is, when they introduced Luke at first, like he started like in the Street Fighter V story, he talked about his dad. My assumption was always that Guile was his dad, but then it kind of turned out that maybe it wasn't. But now they show him sparring against Guile over here on the right. So maybe Guile is his dad after all. Or maybe not. I don't know. Am I looking too far into this? Maybe. Alongside these, we also got a little bit of a look into Ken's story. And Ken's story is something that I did not think any of us expected. Like at first it was like, oh, it's Hobo Ken. Second, it was like, oh, Ken's being investigated for terrorist stuff. Dude, 8-story tall Yun doing Ganadrian combos. Dude, this is the Street Fighter crossover with Godzilla Destroy All Monsters, right? But anyway, back to Ken's story. Ken's being investigated for terrorist stuff. You know what it is? And this is something that I think none of us expected, and it's kind of heartbreaking to hear about, right? Where we have Ken, who's like this very beloved character. He's been part of this franchise forever. And it turns out Ken is a Trumper. And he went to the Capitol on January 6th. Ken went to the Capitol on January 6th. He was at the insurrection. And here he is getting questioned, shirtless, right after they pulled him out of the Capitol. And then here he is, running away from the law, after they announced that he was going to, after they gave him a court summons. So it's very unfortunate that Ken is a QAnon person. And it's very unfortunate that, he kind of like showed his true side after all this. And it's very sad, but I guess we'll find out more about Trumper Ken in Street Fighter 6. Guile has that January 6th look? Maybe? Well, here's the thing. Guile is actually in the military. So maybe he was, in there like defending the Capitol. You feel me? Wait a minute. Ken is a follower of QAnon. Q. Who's the president guy in Street Fighter 5? I can't recall his name right now. G. So maybe G caused the insurrection, and Ken went, and now G is Q, and he's anonymous. I feel like we've just uncovered a whole conspiracy theory here. G and Q have similar normals. Yeah, they do. I think we've just uncovered something here. Maybe G tricked Ken into joining QAnon. Isn't there another guy? I know there's like the Psycho Power guy, the guy with the white hair. JP. Yes, that's the Psycho Power guy with the white hair. And there's also like in the leaks there was also like the Fang apprentice. I think her name was like Aki or something. But she's not in the first she's not in the game release. So maybe be DLC along with Akuma and Ed. Or maybe they're not even there. Who knows? Leaks aren't all true. But anyway, that's like the minuscule Street Fighter update we got. That's all we have for now. Capcom Cup is coming up. Capcom Cup's coming up in March. So my assumption is maybe that's when they'll announce more stuff, or maybe there's going to be like another tournament at the end of the year or something that they'll announce more stuff. But yeah, it's been kind of a dry well, as it were. Tekken might be announcing some stuff. I know there's the North America Regional Finals happening next weekend or 2 weekends from now. So it's been a bit of a dry well as far as like game announcements, right? Like we got the huge hype of like all the announcements. We saw Tekken 8, we saw Street Fighter 6, we played Street Fighter 6. It was awesome. And now there's nothing. It makes me kind of sad. Anyway, that's Street Fighter 6. Anybody else? My fellow co-hosts, you guys have anything else on Street Fighter 6? There's a preview comic coming from Udon. Yeah, and they said they're gonna dive into Ken's story in that too. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. That's Street Fighter 6. You know, we're all sad about Ken being in Trumper, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, right?